Hello, this is Paul McCartney from somewhere in England. Good morning, America, and happy Thanksgiving.
Paul McCartney, and that was just a moment or two ago, and his wife Linda. Paul McCartney. I hope he knows where he is in England, though.
I hope
he
so,
said
too.
from
That's
somewhere in
exciting.
England. It really is. Later in this hour, we'll be talking by satellite, live Eastern time, with Paul and Linda McCartney from somewhere in England. And it's great having them with us this morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm David Hartman with Joan London.
Somewhere in New York.
Somewhere in New York at this moment, anyway. 27th of November. It's Thursday right now. Ah, there's McCartney. Do you see? There he is again. Look at that. Wave. Good morning. Morning, McCartney. Somewhere in England. And we'll be talking with Paul just a little bit later. Hi-ho.
How are
As
you
they
doing, man? Good morning.
Good morning. By he looks ready. He looks ready for us and awake.
Are you ready?
Good morning, everybody. If you've just joined us, some people say it was the mood of the 60s. Others say it was their wonderful talent. Whatever it was, the Beatles were in a class all by themselves, and Paul McCartney is in a class all by himself, was then, is now. He was known as the cute Beatle. I mean, that's what they called McCartney, the cute.
He was.
Because he...
The cute Beatle?
Yes, that's what they called you.
Oh, hi, David.
Hi, good morning, Paul.
Yes, good morning to you.
What are you doing behind those boas?
It's just some foliage we've got around. The lady thought it'd be fun.
You look like you're
How's
having...
that?
Oh, I thought that was well done. Well,
Cute?
Yes, it was cute. Do you think you're cute?
No.
No? Let me
No,
ask
but my
somebody
little-
sitting here. Joan, do you think he's cute?
I do, yes.
Well, there's somebody here thinks you're cute. And she's
Well,
rather
Joan.
attractive herself.
Shocking.
Shocking. Paul, we'll see
Yeah.
you in Lynn in just a few minutes.
All right.
Great. Anyway, Paul McCartney, Joan is still saying he's good. In a few minutes, Paul and Linda McCartney, live from by satellite from Sussex in England, and we're looking forward to talking with the McCartneys.
And then Pat Collins is going to tell us what the other ex-Beatles are up to.
Coming up on Good Morning America, Paul and Linda McCartney, real superstars. 20 minutes of 8 right now, and Pat Collins is going to tell us what the former Beatles are all up to. Pat?
Good morning, David. It's Beatlemania time again. It's not a reunion, but it's close. Ringo Starr is getting by with a little help from his friends. George Harrison and Paul McCartney have both done songs for his new album, and Ringo has just finished doing a prehistoric movie comedy called Caveman with his co-star in real life, Barbara Bach. The busiest ex-Beatle is Paul McCartney, and his new concert movie opened in New York yesterday. It will open around the country after Christmas. The film is called Rock Show, but it could just as easily have been called a magical musical tour of Paul McCartney's greatest hits. There are songs from the Beatle years, his solo flight, and some done with his own group, Wings. The film was taken during the group's Wings Over America tour in 1976. It's been a long and winding road from filming to opening. McCartney had total control of the project and refused to rush it into release, but it was all worth the wait. Rock Show is a pure concert experience translated to film. McCartney has wisely avoided the cliches of rock tour movies. Who cares what goes on behind the scenes on the road? It's the music that counts and has always counted with McCartney. He's a consummate entertainer, backed up by a first-rate group that includes his wife Linda and Denny Lane. Also seen in this film is guitarist Jimmy McCulloch, who died last year of a possible drug overdose. Here's a bit from Band on the Run from Rock Show. On a scale of 1 to 10, nothing beats a live McCartney concert, but Rock Show is the next best thing to being there. It's in Super Dolby Stereo and in 8. Coming up in a few minutes, David will talk with Paul and Linda McCartney live by satellite from London.
Shake it. And we go live right now. We go live to Sussex, England by satellite this morning to Sussex Recording Studios and Paul and Linda McCartney. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever.
Good morning, America.
Great having you with us. Happy Thanksgiving. Wait a minute, Linda, you're American. Paul, you're British, right? Are you celebrating Thanksgiving, you guys?
We are indeed.
We are.
Well, how are you celebrating? You gonna with a turkey or what?
Yeah, we're actually vegetarians, so we've got a macaroni turkey, would you believe?
I don't know. Should I?
Yeah.
Yes, you should believe that one, David.
We shall. Paul, do you get tired of hearing Yesterday or singing it?
No. He said, lying through his teeth.
Ah.
No, I don't actually. I like it, but I do hear it quite a lot.
Who were
I
you?
don't really get time.
Who were you writing about when you said why she had to go? I don't know. She wouldn't say. Were you writing about Linda?
The Queen, wasn't
No, your wife.
Watch it. You clever, quick devil, you.
Oh, why you do it?
Linda, you met, I mean, there you were in your early 20s when you met Paul, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was your first impression of Paul? Was he your favorite? Did you find him, as we said
My
earlier, kind of...
favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite of what? No, he wasn't my favorite.
He wasn't? Who was?
No, he soon became my favorite, mind you.
She
Yeah.
liked John better.
Joan. Joan London.
John.
Uh-huh.
Sorry about that.
Oh, she did like John better?
John.
Yeah?
John.
So, I mean, what taste? You know what I
Just
mean,
shows you,
Dave?
doesn't it?
Well, it's not easy, is it, Paul?
No accounting for taste, you know, these women. Well, I mean, what can you do, Dave?
Paul, what did you do to win her over?
Oh, that's a long story.
He's
Tell us.
not
I
telling
don't-
it.
I don't think we can go into that one right now.
No?
No, we have to wait for cable TV for that one.
Do you get any, Linda, did you ever get any nasty letters from other women? I mean, it was a fantasy for millions of young girls in the 60s. I mean, Paul was, even to talk with him or meet him or touch him, much less to marry him. Was there any fantasy in it for you as a girl of your early 20s at the time?
No, not really. No, I don't get that many letters either. A few nice ones here and there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Paul, we talked about a generation gap back at the time when you all were mesmerizing teenagers as the Beatles at the time. And your style as the Beatles, the long hair and so forth, kind of symbolized the generation gap. You're a father now, certainly. You have several children. You have a daughter, 18. And, you know, we're in another age now, sort of. Do you feel any generation gap now? Is there any between you and your children? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, I think it's inevitable that there's a little bit of one. When I was a lot younger, I used to think that when I grew up and if I ever got to be a parent, that I would be much more understanding than my parents were. But then you get to be that parent, and you say you're a parent of a teenager. And I find myself being like my parents were, and I wish I was a lot more liberal and stuff. But for instance, when you're the father of a teenage girl, I know what I was like when I was a teenage boy, so I try and warn her about that kind of stuff, you know. So,
What were you like, Paul?
oh, terrible.
Oh, you were?
Shocking.
Shocking. What values do you try to, both of you, and Linda first, what kind of values do you try to teach your children now, and different from perhaps your values maybe of the 60s?
I just try and get them to be normal, just regular people, try and understand people, because there's a lot of tension going on in the world now. To be calm, really, you know, not take anything too seriously. That's my thing.
How difficult is it, Paul, you have made such enormous amounts of money, how do you, and I know you like your privacy and you try to maintain some kind of a, quote, normal life for your children, how do you do that? I mean, how do you maintain a normal life?
Yeah, I don't know, really. We somehow managed to do it. Obviously, like, it's not as normal as it would have been if I was still living in Liverpool and it was 20 years ago or something, but for the kind of position that we're in, actually our kids go to normal schools, they don't go to sort of private schools, so that's one way. We don't do things in a very fancy way. For instance, we haven't got a nanny and things like that. Linda looks after the kids herself. We've got a ridiculously small house with 4 kids and 2 bedrooms, would you believe? And so by doing things like that, just not living with a big style, it just seems to naturally keep pretty close and intimate.
Is it good, or is it good or not good for your children that you're such a huge star?
I don't know, really. Obviously, like, it has its drawbacks, but it has its advantages too. And they don't seem freaked out by it. You know, they understand that, like, you know, Daddy's on television occasionally and stuff, but I don't know, you'd have to judge by meeting them whether they'd gone crazy. I think they're fine on it, you know, and it's just one of the things. It's just an occupational hazard.
Linda, how will you explain to your James when he gets a little older, he's 3 now, how will you explain to him, oops, the lights went off? We can still see you, though. No, we can still see it. It looks fine.
Oh,
it looks fine.
you?
In fact, Paul, you look a little better if you want to know the truth.
Thank you, David.
Leave them off in that
Turn
case.
them off again. I look better.
Linda, how will you try to explain to your James, now 3, later on, how would you explain, quote, the Beatles, unquote?
I actually don't think I'd explain it. You know, I think I'd play me. We always play the music, and he'd see the films on telly, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't sit down and say, now, Daddy was a Beatle, and I'd do a lot of things just naturally. If he had any questions about it, I'd tell him what I thought. But I don't think it's a problem, really. It's quite nice, in truth.
Paul,
He's not a Bin Man, he's a Beatle.
Excuse me, lights again. Paul, there's a new interview out that John, you mentioned John a while ago, Lennon did.
Yeah.
And he talks very openly without going into details, but he seems to have a lot of resentment, competition with you. And he says you kind of died creatively in a way, and he didn't keep track of you, but he said long winding road, your last gasp. How? He seems resentful of you. Do you know why, or?
I don't know. I can guess and stuff, you know, but I'll tell you, after all of that stuff has sort of gone down over the years, I actually kind of keep a bit quiet now, because, I mean, anything I say he gets resentful of. So, I don't know, really. I mean, it's just a weird one, you know. I don't quite know why he thinks like that. I mean, what do you do about that? I really just shut up these days about it. I think it's the best policy, David.
And you go ahead and keep writing wonderful music and taking care of your family.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, I'm enjoying myself. You know, I'm having a good time, and I don't think I've had my last gasp. So, you know, I mean...
You sure don't look it. Linda, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you all, and to Paul.
Same to you. Have a good one.
Thanks so much. Hey, listen, if I come over there, can we spend a little more time together than this short talk we've just had?
Definitely, and if we come to Scarsdale, we'll see you.
Thank you all. Take care.
Bye, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy day. Thanks. 4 minutes up. We'll be back in just a minute.